All right, Flutter in the active. You can change decks between day 1 and day 2, yeah. Goes in immediately with the Artisan. I think last time only one 12-3 made cut, and all the rest were 13-2s and above. So I guess we could see an X3 making cut here then, possibly. This tournament's way smaller, though. I wonder if they have the same amount of rounds. Because the last tournament was 5,000 players. This is 2,800. That's a pretty big difference. So I feel like we maybe see... What's the same amount of rounds? There's a higher chance for X3s to make cut then, though, right? My math isn't wrong on that. There's a pretty big difference in but you do get dropped at 3... You do get dropped at 3 losses in day 1, so... But I guess in day 2, they let you play past 3 losses then, because you could make cut, possibly. Well, yeah, someone literally made cut at 3 losses last time, so... Alright, here we go. Just gonna get 1 Ralts plus attach. It is up against Lugia, though. It's not... this would be pretty scary if this was up against Miraidon, to be honest. There's the pass. I wonder who won the coin flip, actually, to be honest. I'm wondering who chose who chose first or second here. Immediately into the Artisan. There's probably going to be a Minccino to potentially grab here, but that'd be like the only thing you'd get here, I think, ever. Does play the Water Pawn as well. We saw the Water Pawn in there. That could be pretty good, pretty big. Does play Drapion, so it probably doesn't play Cinccino, actually, if it's a Drapion in here. The players are playing Drapion in the Lugia deck again to deal with Gardevoir EX, because they're cutting Cinccino, because they're going down to just like a basics build with the new Regigigas. All right, we're into the Aroma. It is heads. Gonna be the Archeops. Appreciate that Prime sub there, LX. All right, there's a Nest Ball. Gotta get a Lugia V, of course. And there's not too big of a threat on the other side from the Gardevoir player. Minion coming in. There's a lot of good energies in hand. I wonder what this is actually going to grab. It is going to be the research. Oh, I guess we do have the Iron Hands in the active, so we could attach Legacy to the active here. There's a decent amount of energy in hand, though, I feel like. So kind of unfortunate. Why aren't we flipping coins in NA/EU? We're not cringe. Sorry, a bit behind, but you said last Champions League was smaller? No, last one was bigger. Last Champions League was 5,000 players. This Champions League is 2,800. It was 4,800. Now it's... And this one's 2,800. Last Champions League was 4,800. There's the research. Oh, it's not that bad. It's just 2 gift. We get the chops in the discard pile. Lugia Vstar, of course, going to the discard pile is fine as well, so it's not that bad. Ooh, the draw there, though. Ooh, there's a Carmine. There's a Carmine and a Mezagoza. You could throw out the Mezagoza right now to get double flips off it, because it's unlikely that the Guardy player is going to bounce your Mezagoza, and you do need to find that next Archeops to combo with the Carmine. So yeah, I think I like this Mezagoza play here. Also, it does play the basic Lightning. We see that in the hand there. Here we go, Mezagoza. Heads would be big to set up for the next turn. Back-to-back heads would also be pretty big. That could find us the Archeops, and the next turn get us the Lugia V-Star. Tails on the Mezagoza. Of course, this does give it over to the Guard type, but honestly, the Artisan is probably... You'd rather probably have Artisan in play here as Gardevoir, because you just like to get another Ralts in play, guaranteed. The Mezagoza, you're probably going to be using Mezagoza to get a Ralts here if you do get heads. And we're going into the Mezagoza here. Maybe Greninja. It is a heads. Okay. I do see an Iono in the hand there. Do have the Iono. 6 cards in hand. They know the Mezagoza got tails, so they know there's no Archeops. Well, they don't know that for sure, actually. They know there's not for sure an Archeops in the hand off the Mezagoza flip. Ooh, they have another Artisan in hand as well, actually. Okay, so they'll be able to replace this Mezagoza immediately. That's pretty good. Left key. What else do they play? Dude, it's too much. Oh, is that Serena? Yeah, is that the Radiant Serena? I think they have Radiant Serena in there. What matchup is that for? Is that just for Dragapult? It's got to just be for Dragapult, right? No Moonlit Hill? I'm pretty sure I saw Radiant Serena. I could be tripping. It's a lot of healing. Okay, so we're going with the Arvin here. We got Monkey Dory. Monkey Dory off the Artisan is interesting. Oh, but we're gonna get Puff in here for the. Wait, no, I actually didn't see what we got off the Artisan. The Artisan got the Monkey Dory. I didn't see what we got off the other thing. We're going into the Badoo here. Okay, so instead of TM Evo, we're going into Badoo. That's interesting. I see we got off the Mezagoza. That's what I meant to say. We got a Curlia. Okay, so we're favoring the Badoo over. Oh, now the 10 damage is relevant though. The 10 damage does set up for Gardevoir plus Monkey Dory Punch next turn. As an Ultra Ball in hand, it looks like. Thinking about maybe going to get another Ralts, I would assume. So we're not going for as aggressive as setup. There is another Ralts. We are bench locked now, but Gardevoir's a pretty good attacker in this matchup. And the Lugia deck doesn't play as many threats. They don't play any one-prize threats. So, like, Chinchino can't respond to our Gardevoir. It has to be the Drapion, which is nice. We're looking to buy some turn here with the Badoo. The 10 damage also, like I said, the 10 damage is relevant because it does let the Monkey Dory Gardevoir hit. But if there's like a top deck, there's one Archeops in the discard pile. So if we have Lugia V-Star Boss here, we could just KO Lone Curlia with hands, and that's pretty good as well. That's like the risk, not the risk, I hate using that term. I don't know, the punish. What could happen, Lugia V-Star plus Boss, hands KO Lone Curlia would have been pretty devastating. It definitely would have been pretty devastating. We don't see that here. Goes with a double turbo energy to the bench, Lugia, and has a Carmine, but no Archeops means it's going to be impossible to actually get another Archeops in the discard pile here. We could find the Lugia V-Star, but there's Lugia V-Star, but are we going to solo chop it? It's possible. Or do we wait? I don't know, waiting seems... I don't even know what you do here. The Badoo didn't make a difference in the end. We see the hand has no Ultra Ball in the hand anyways, but is it going to be some solo chops? Solo chopping is so bad. But what else do you do here? Passing also seems really bad. Passing also seems really bad. Can't wait with this hand? Well, you could hope that on the Gardevoir side, they don't have that many cards in hand. So they might have to Iono next turn. And if they have to Iono, then you could be playing off them Ionoing you, to be honest. You could be waiting to hopefully get Ionoed. But no, it is solo chops. And we're going to be able to load up the Iron Hands here with a gift and a double turbo. And we will be able to take the knockout on this Badoo, get ourselves 2 prize cards. But this is a big opportunity for the Gardevoir side to kind of take over the game. You have a couple different lines you could take here. As Daichi, you could go KO the active, or you could go KO the Archeops. You could also punch the active, play Iono, but not KO it, so there's no draw power through the gift energy as well. Immediately into the Artisan. I'm telling the chops and the game is over. The Iron Hands, I don't know, do we want to feed Iron Hands? I don't think we want to feed Iron Hands another 2 prize cards. That seems kind of scary, because Ursaluna does exist. The Lugia has a double turbo on it. Yeah, I don't think we want to feed Iron Hands another free prize cards. You want to force the boss or just KO? You probably should just remove the Iron Hands from play, to be honest. KOing the Iron Hands is probably just the correct play here. Just completely remove it as a threat. If we can get we just need the Gardevoir. We don't need a lot here. Yeah, I think just like removing the potential threat is probably the correct play of the Iron Hands. I feel like that's the only way we lose this game is if Iron Hands gets to attack again. Because even for a Drapion to attack on the next turn, for Drapion to attack next turn, you'd have to push up Lugia, and then I guess you could jet Drapion into the active. You wouldn't have to discard the double turbo off the Lugia. We see the unfair stamp searched out, so I feel like we're not KOing the active here. I feel like we're not going to KO the active here. We're going to punch it with Guardy, but then try and trap it and not give over the gift draw if we're going to play the unfair stamp here. You appreciate the gifted sub there, Mr. Mountain Badoo. And appreciate the 5 gifted as well there, Victor. Welcome all to the pack. Got plenty of Itchy Pollen. We're all out of... How many Psychic Energy in the discard pile? There must not be 3 Psychic Energy in the discard pile if we just attach that Dark Energy to the Gardevoir. I wouldn't have hated to see the risk there and put the Dark Energy on the Monkey Dory. I hate using that term. I wouldn't have hated to see the Dark Energy go to the Monkey Dory. There's such a high chance that we actually draw into a Psychic Energy and are able to discard it. But it's reasonable to probably just attach the Dark Energy to the Gardevoir here. Aren't you like saying risk? Is it technically risk doesn't exist? Like, it's either correct or it's incorrect. We did find the Psychic Energy there. We also, dude, did I see the Radiance Arena? Maybe I was trolling because there's also a Moonlit Hill in here. Is there Radiance Arena and Moonlit Hill? This is like the ultimate anti-Dragapult build of Gardevoir. Yeah, I don't think we're KOing the Iron Hands here. We're hoping that the Unfair Stamp sticks. This does open up a big opportunity on the Lugia side, depending on what we got off this Iono. There's a load up to the active. We got 4 to 5 damage counters to work with here. Like I said, I don't think we're KOing Iron Hands here, because otherwise the Unfair Stamp feels a little weird. But maybe we had to use Unfair Stamp just to see cards. That was maybe why we went for the Unfair Stamp here, to be honest. Maybe the reason we went for the Unfair Stamp there was just so we could see more cards. So we actually might still be KOing the Iron Hands here with the Gardevoir. Let's see. Goes for 3 onto the Archeops. I assume that means we're not KOing the Iron Hands here. Well, it's impossible, so I'd hope not. Could we just let Monkey KO Guardian next turn? KO the hands? Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen here. That's what I think is going to happen here, is we're going to KO the Iron Hands next turn with Monkey Dory to avoid triggering the Gift Energy. But you do risk a boss. You do risk a boss being found here. That's like the trade-off here, is you don't trigger the Gift Energy, but now, if there's a boss found, there's an Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball becomes Luminion. Is that second Iron Hands? Gosh darn, bro. Okay. You could also get the Drapion, but I think Luminion boss... Ooh, I don't know, actually. I actually don't know what the correct play is here, to be honest. Luminion boss seems fine. What if you went Luminion for research to try and draw into Drapion Jet? Is that ever the correct play? Could that ever be the right play to go for? That's like I think that's the most high value turn you could have would be Drapion knockout, I feel like. Because on this next turn, we're probably going to see Daichi KO the Iron Hands and then try and KO Archeops to take away the Drapion option. You will be able to load up the Lugia as well this turn, though, from the one Archeops. The one Archeops here can load up that Lugia. And there's a Luminion. I mean, we'll see if it goes for the boss. I assume it is. Yeah, and there's the boss grab. And we can see the Archeops load up the Lugia as well, so there is a backup attacker. But that's all you'll have to work with immediately is that Lugia. You do have Ursaluna, though. Ursaluna does exist as well. But like a Gift Energy is never getting triggered anymore, or doesn't need to get triggered anymore at this point. And probably won't get triggered anymore at this point. Until the game is over. I feel like the Fluttermane has to be the worst thing to knock out here. Are they afraid of Fluttermane KOing the... No, Fluttermane has to be the worst thing to KO here, right? Now there's a threat of double Monkey Dory. Kirlia draws cards. Oh yeah, you always boss Monkey Dory. True, yeah, you always boss Monkey Dory because it's possible that Daichi can't find another Dark Energy, right? So that forces Daichi then to attack with the Fluttermane, which is more awkward for sure. Or it might not even be possible for the Fluttermane to have a Gust plus Fluttermane KO off the bench. Yeah, KO Monkey Dory is always the play here, yeah. Wait, did he not use Archeops there? Oh my gosh. Did he not Archeops to the Lugia? Monkey doesn't die? Oh, true. You can't KO the monkey because of the double turbo energy. Fair. So yeah, I think KOing the Kirlia makes the most sense. There's only one Psychic in the discard pile here, but I believe has a Psychic in hand. Yep, there it is. So if we can find Gust KO Archeops, he did but didn't charge. So he used Archeops but didn't put any energy in play? We should 6 months there. DGR. That's crazy. You just lose to counter catch. You just lose to counter catcher plus monkey. And there is 2 Curlias prized here for Daichi, so Daichi could get a Curly off the prize cards and use that Curlia to draw and further this turn here. You can Monkey Dory KO the Iron Hands. You get 2 prize cards, and you do get a Curlia here based on the order of the prize cards. There's the Curlia. So we get to draw again here with this next Curlia. And if we can find Gust Up Archeops, I mean, that's just game. Honestly, even Gust Luminion is probably game as well, though. Oh, no, that's not true. Oh, because, yeah, we have to play around. We still have to play around. No, Gust Archeops is definitely game. But Drapion can still be created in one turn because of, like, jet energy. We can jet it up. Artisan for Screamtail, so Gust Archeops is guaranteed. You really don't want to leave a 1 prizer on the active for the Lugia to KO, because then they could go double turbo to Lugia. I mean, you can't play around everything, but double turbo to Lugia, knockout Screamtail into Ursaluna, boss KO for game. You want to be careful of. You want to try and avoid giving that over. 3rd Dark Energy, search out of the deck here. Another Psychic to go to the discard pile with the Curlia probably. Drapion needs 4, so you can accelerate 2 double turbos or a double turbo and a single energy, and you can jet the Drapion into the active. Of course, the Guardy does need damage on it, though. If you have 2 double turbos on the thing, and the Guardy has no damage on it, then you actually don't KO. There's the counter catcher. I mean, KO Chops seems pretty good here to me. Counter catcher Luminion plus Screamtail KO Chops would also be pretty good, right? Would that even be better, actually? That could be better. What if you counter catcher Luminion and then Screamtailed the Chops? Is there any possible play to have there on the other side? I don't think there is. But if you KO the Chops with Gardevoir, then you can push Lugia back up and attach double turbo, bench Ursaluna, and then boss, or just punch the Gardevoir and then have Ursaluna on the backup. So I feel like the play here is to bring up Luminion and then Screamtail the Archeops. If there's enough energy in the discard pile. I actually don't know if we have enough energy, because we did leave those 2 energy trapped on our Gardevoir. So that might have been a mistake here from Daichi to actually push up the Gardevoir EX. Or to push up the Curlia instead of the Gardevoir EX. There's the Screamtail, though. But being worried from Drapion makes no sense to me. You have to be worried about Drapion if you don't KO the Archeops. But we're KOing the Archeops here. There's 2 in the active. That's 4. Okay, so that's enough. We do have enough. Yep, counter catcher on Luminions, then we snipe the Archeops. And now there's no possible attack available. It's for the Artisan as well to take that away as an option. Moves the damage over to Luminion. And yeah, here comes the Screamtail. Yeah, this one seems pretty cooked. We need to push Curlia to get damage to KO hands. Did we? We could have accelerated. How we maybe did. No, because we could have accelerated 1 more energy to the Gardevoir, then healed the damage off the Gardevoir, and then retreated 2 energy off Gardevoir, leaving 1 energy trapped on Gardevoir, but would have ended up with 1 more Psychic in the discard pile. But we do end up with 4 here. I think it could have worked the other way still. Because if we had pushed up Gardevoir, accelerated 1 for the discard pile to Gardevoir, retreat 2 Psychics off, then we end up with a Dark and a Gardevoir on our Gardevoir, but then there's 1 more energy in our discard pile. Killed Lum. Oh, what the heck? What? That seems like a I mean, the chance that you lose is so low, but that does kind of seem like a mistake. Because you just auto-win if you KO Archeops, right? It's unlosable if you KO Archeops. It's losable if you don't KO Archeops. There's heads on Mesagoza. Well, yeah, this is like not... And we left the damage on the Gardevoir as well. We left the 1 damage on the Gardevoir. That was a huge throw from Daichi there. So, yeah, we could literally... It's possible we could have lost. Yeah, that was a huge mistake from Daichi there. Daichi should have healed the damage off the Gardevoir. If we're going to do this play, we always heal that 1 damage off the Gardevoir. I think Daichi healed the 1 damage off the Curlia instead. Could we play around the timer? They have plenty of time left. They got 5 minutes. Clef key found. The Joust does knock out, right? And it does shut down the Monkey Dories. Basic Lightning to the Klefki, retreat into the, yeah, basically into the Klefki, retreat to the Klefki off the Archeops. There's the knockout on the Screamtail. Daichi just needs Counter Catcher, though, or Boss, and the game is over. KO that second Luminian. So, I think it's likely here that Daichi has game. There's the draw for turn. But we don't have it yet. Oh my gosh. Here comes the Vessel to start with to thin out the deck. I see Boss was the next card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards left in deck. One Boss. It looked like no Counter Catcher. Counter Catcher is active here. Lugia is on 1. And Daichi is here on 2 prize cards remaining. So Counter Catcher is active. Looks like burning on the heavy ball. Here comes the first refinement. Oh. I actually wonder if that was a mistake. See what we get. There's Turo. There's Boss. Okay, well, that's game. There's the Boss to bring up the Luminian and get the knockout. But that was closer than it needed to be, right? That was definitely closer than it needed to be there. I think it was definitely a mistake on that last turn from Daichi. We're going to go back and, why not use Mezagoza? Yeah, also didn't use Mezagoza to potentially thin. Also, actually, there might have been 0 Pokemon in the deck, actually. Yeah, let's go back and review that turn real fast. Usually the 4 months there, Greg. So we're looking at right here. Okay, let's think about what can happen here. So we end up getting Counter Catcher. We have access to Screamtail. Okay, so we have Counter Catcher. And we have access to Screamtail. Screamtail can do the 160. We Counter Catcher up to Luminian. We move the 10 damage off the Curlia to the bench Luminian, which is fine. That's fine. The damage should come off the Gardevoir, though. Then we retreat. And then Daichi goes KO bench Luminian, which means if the Lugia player has Energy plus Drapion plus Boss, we have Drapion KO on Gardevoir. If we heal the damage off the Gardevoir, we would force the Lugia player to have specifically Jet Energy with the Drapion. Because if you put 2 double turbos on the Drapion, it only does 150 damage, which is then 300 damage, which doesn't KO Gardevoir if it has full HP. If you had like a Mist in hand, or the basic Lightning, you retreat the Luminian into the Drapion, and you got 2 double turbos out of the deck, which I think there is 2 double turbos in the deck that could have been accelerated to the Drapion. But if Daichi here just KOs Archeops with Screamtail, you can't lose on the next turn. You do win 1 turn slower, but I don't think that actually hurts you here as Daichi, because you can't be attacked next turn, and the only threat after that to win the game is Drapion, but Drapion can't be set up because there's no more Archeops in play. So if Daichi just goes Screamtail KO Archeops, the Lugia player would go draw, attach to Lugia, pass, then you go Gardevoir, knockout Luminian, the game's just over. So this was definitely a pretty big mistake here from Daichi, because you gave your opponent a win condition on their turn, on their next turn, with the Drapion play, but then you also gave them just like a way to play the game further, where all of a sudden if you whiff Gust, you could actually lose this game. Yeah, where if you whiff Gust, you could all of a sudden lose this game here as Daichi, if you whiffed Boss on this next turn. Because if we go ahead here, the Klefki play happens. I think this might have been a misplay here with the Klefki as well. We have a basic Lightning in hand. We could have... Oh, they did use Archeops before they used... No, they used Mezagoza first. They could have put a Gift Energy on the Klefki and attached basic Lightning to the active, which is probably the better play here, to be honest. I think there's maybe a mistake here from the Lugia player. If they have a gift... Maybe they don't even have a gift left, though, actually. They might be out of gifts, to be honest. It might be giftless, actually. Okay, so maybe it doesn't matter here how they sequence that. Okay. But yeah, now we get this prize card with the Klefki. And then... It's possible... it is possible to win the next turn. Like, if Daichi doesn't win this turn by KOing Luminion, which there's a pretty good chance that Daichi can win by KOing Luminion, because Daichi could get Screamtail back, or Daichi could get... Oh, that's why Daichi didn't use Mezagoza as well. It's because if Daichi gets Super Rod, then you could Super Rod, then Mezagoza for the Screamtail, get Screamtail back in play, and then Screamtail KO'd Luminion, probably. Because you could do the same thing, Monkey Dory 10 over, Screamtail KO Luminion. If you get Boss, Guardy KOs Luminion. But if you whiff Gust and you whiff Recovery on Screamtail, which is maybe not possible with how many cards are left in deck here for Daichi, with what's left and with having two Curlias left here from Daichi, but it is maybe possible to whiff here. And then if you whiff on the other side, if you just have Archeops to Lugia plus Boss, the game's over. You just win. Can't Monkey 10 with Klefki inactive? Oh, true. So it would have to be a Bravery Charm situation then. Yeah, with the Klefki in the active, you actually can't move 10 with Monkey Dory to use this to get Screamtail. So you need Screamtail plus Bravery Charm. There's a lot of cards in Daichi's hand, so probably has a decent amount of options, but it did seem kind of close there because Daichi was digging for the boss, and then Daichi did eventually draw into the boss. But yeah, definitely a mistake there on that previous turn from Daichi, because Daichi could have locked up the game 100% if Daichi had just KO'd the Archeops and brought up the Luminion. He did it all correct up until choosing what to attack with Screamtail, and that's where Daichi made the mistake.